Hi everyone, we are just approaching 2:40 on this Monday. Hope your day is off to a good start. I'm Rekha Mutteraj. Say hi in the comments. Love to hear from you guys. I'm live in the KHOU 11 newsroom with your afternoon update. Again, these are the stories that you guys are clicking on our KHOU.com website. This first story is actually out of San Antonio. The initial story broke out back in May. A 15-year-old girl who was a runaway was captured by two men and held against her will inside a San Antonio apartment. She was handcuffed under a bed and repeatedly sexually assaulted. Well, she managed to escape, but 4 months later, there are still problems and heartache for the teen and the teen's mother. Her mother says when she was held captive, the men gave the girl methamphetamine and she became addicted. So she has spent some time in rehab. She's been out there getting treatment, but the teen escaped from a treatment facility and is now missing again. The mother here fearing for her daughter, who has a long history of mental health and medical issues, and she believes her daughter may be in danger of dying on the streets. An incredibly sad story for this mom and this teenage girl. One of the two men believed to be involved remains behind bars, so an update there. All right, here's another story that's really going to pull on your heartstrings. It comes out of New Mexico. A 16-year-old girl's father, who is an EMT, was the first on scene at his daughter's own fatal crash. His daughter's name is Maria Cruz. She died in a three-vehicle crash that involved a country singer, Kylie Ray Harris. You may remember this story. We talked about the crash that happened last Wednesday. So investigators believe Harris was speeding, and that's why she clipped the back of another vehicle, sending her into oncoming traffic. She then crashed head-on into an SUV that was being driven by 16-year-old Cruz, the EMT's daughter. Maria Cruz was a high school sophomore. She's being remembered as a beautiful, kind, hardworking, intelligent, and inspirational individual. So our hearts certainly go out to her family. Here at home, it's the big talker online. The boyfriend accused of hiding a girl's body in the closet speaks from jail. We're talking about Santiago Esparza. He says he did not hurt his girlfriend's 5-year-old daughter, Sierra, and that her mom, Priscilla Torres, is lying about his role in her death. Now, there are conflicting reports here about what actually happened during or after a bath that was given to the little girl. But all we know is that 4 days after that bath, Torres says her daughter wasn't eating, she was throwing up, and she was in and out of consciousness. Prosecutors say Torres and Esparza stayed for 3 days in that apartment while they left Sierra's dead body in a bedroom closet. Both of them now face charges of tampering with a corpse. Esparza is a known gang member. He already has a conviction for injuring his own son. So, of course, we're going to be watching this case as it plays out in court. Here's a story where you guys are just clicking on the images because they're pretty incredible. Some wild images off the coast of Georgia. Coast Guard rescuers found 4 South Korean crew members trapped inside a massive cargo ship. And so they had to rappel down the side, drill a hole through the hull to contact those trapped crew members. They're believed to be okay. Now, this happened after the ship capsized in Georgia's St. Simons Sound around early Sunday morning, I should say. It caused several fires. There was a lot of smoke. There were more than 4,000 vehicles inside that cargo ship. The rescue team is communicating with the trapped sailors through that hole they drilled. They believe they're going to be okay, but the Coast Guard has already lifted 20 people from that ship into helicopters. This happened on Sunday. Authorities still trying to figure out what caused this mess. All right, we were talking about scattered showers this morning in our area, but really what we're focusing on is that tomorrow is the peak of hurricane season. Not something you want to hear, especially after we saw Dorian rip through the Bahamas and on our eastern seaboard. Blake, how do the tropics look right now?
Well, thanks a lot, Rekha. The tropics, believe it or not, really not all that active, considering that tomorrow is the peak of the season. September the 10th statistically is the height of the Atlantic hurricane season. So here you go. We've got Gabrielle up there in the North Atlantic. This is going to quickly move off into the North Atlantic and fizzle away. We're watching 120% chance of development there north of Hispaniola. That will not do anything. A 30% chance of development with this little system right here to about 1,000 miles east of the Lesser Antilles. That system, too, not expected to do much. However, what has my attention is just now coming off the coast of Africa. Now, the National Hurricane Center giving this a 20 50% chance of development. But I will tell you, after looking at the long-range models, and many of them at that, this could be a pretty powerful hurricane within the next 7 to 10 days. Now, while it's no threat to the Gulf of Mexico at this time, it could have implications on our long-term weather as we get in towards the end of September. Now, here's a look at that chart once again. We're talking about the height of hurricane season. We are there right now, September 10th-ish. And we begin that slow decline as we get into the latter part of the month into October. But remember, October can also produce very strong hurricanes. We had Hurricane Michael, Category 5, hit the Florida Panhandle last year as, again, Category 5. We also had Hurricane Opal back in 1995. Several strong hurricanes come to mind for the month of October. So we're not quite done with it yet. Always good to keep a check out. All right, take a look here. Well, there's a look at outside. You can see the camera bouncing a little bit. Wind's a little breezy out there, but all in all, a fairly nice day. 93 degrees at Bush Airport right now, 93 in Sugar Land, after you guys got hammered with some heavy rain this morning and some lightning. And you'll notice some of these yellow splotches showing up on the temperature map. That is some rain-cooled air that continues to push through the Houston area. Where it's not raining, obviously very hot. Now, if you're looking for some of that fall-like weather, look at Minneapolis right now, sitting at 61 degrees, 61 in International Falls, 59 up there in Bismarck. So fingers crossed that hopefully we can get some cooler air in here at some point over the next 4 weeks. All right, take a look at the radar. You can see a front draped across the Midwest. That will not move through our area, unfortunately, but we can always hope for a little something later on in the month. Look at this little spin right down here towards Brownsville. That's a little upper level low, and the reason why this is important is because it produces a little bit of lift out to the north and east of it, and look where that lift is occurring, right over Houston. So we do have a few spotty showers out there, but really nothing widespread, nor is it anticipated to be widespread over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. So as you take a look at the computer models, you'll see a splash and dash shower here and there, but those will fade off pretty quickly. As we get into tomorrow, it'll be about the same. A few scattered showers here and there. Hello, David Paul. And as we get into Wednesday, perhaps maybe a little bit wider in coverage, but all in all, not looking for a widespread soaking at any point over the next 7 days. Temperature-wise, again, we're warming up into those mid-90s for today, cooling it on down into the 80s, eventually into those mid-70s as we head into the overnight hours tonight. So take a look at the next 7 days. We're talking about generally late summer type weather, pretty consistent for what you would expect for this time of year. 94 degrees as we head into your Tuesday, 93 on Wednesday, 94, 95, 95, 95. All these temperatures here running about 4 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. So we'll continue to keep you updated on the forecast. Again, just a few scattered showers out there right now. Expect the same as we head into tomorrow. We'll have a lot more on your forecast and another look at the tropics coming up today on the 411.